Okay, we are live streaming again, and we have just come out of in camera. Council gave the CAO clerk direction to advise Templeman Meninga that the mutual, full, and final release document as received has been signed. Council gave direction to Paul Cassan of Wishart and Law regarding court file number CV-19-000-82269-0000. Council received a verbal report from the treasurer as it pertains to Lakewood's development default and what is required to be paid from the performance guarantee. Now, I have a resolution that council received a verbal report from the CAO clerk and gave direction to send the letter of default to Lakewood subdivision to approve that the following items will be paid from the performance guarantee of Lakewood subdivision for A, reconciliation of legal and consulting fees, and B, the funds required to fulfill the tender of snow plowing and sanding contract for Lakewood's Skeets Road. Could I get a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Poplinski, seconded by Councillor Wilmer. Is there any discussion on the resolution? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that's carried. All right, we still have our bylaws to do, so we'll move back to bylaws. First, we have bylaw 2020-96 regarding establish an interim control bylaw to prohibit the cultivation of cannabis. The recommendation is that bylaw 2020-96, being a bylaw to establish an interim control bylaw within the township of Madawaska Valley to prohibit the cultivation of cannabis, be given first and second reading this first day of December 2020. Could I get a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Wilmer, seconded by Councillor Schulist. Is there any discussion on the bylaw? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that's carried. The recommendation is that bylaw 2020-96 be given third and final reading this first day of December 2020. Could I get a mover? Moved by Councillor Poplinski, seconded by Councillor Bromwich. Any final discussion on the bylaw? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that's carried. Next, we have an item, a paymentus agreement, and our treasurer is going to maybe take us through the report before we actually do the bylaw. Amanda?
Yes. So previously, I had spoken to council and committee with regards to not accepting foreign payment or foreign funds for taxes and water payments as of April 1st, 2021. Paymentus is a direct to billing to the municipality company that allows us to accept funds in various different forms. So in Canada, we have Interac e-Transfer. In the United States, they have Venmo. So Paymentus is a company that works with municipalities and their software providers, their financial software providers, to receive funds in different formats. So one being Venmo, Amazon Pay, PayPal, Alexa, and there are always more options available. There is no cost to the municipality. It is all a user fee system. So based on the type of the payment platform, the fees to the user range from 1.5% to 2.95%. So this would be an excellent option for our foreign ratepayers to allow them to pay any bills, taxes, water, any outstanding bills, service fees for building and whatnot. And what would happen is we do the agreement, they work with our new financial software company, they attach to our website, which links to theirs, and it's all secure. It's housed on the Google servers in Canada, and it meets all regulations for payment structures that are online.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Are there any questions for Amanda on the bylaw? Yes, Councillor Wilmer.
No, just a comment. No, I think it's a great way of offering an option to pay off these farm bills that we don't have. So I think this is a great way to go.
Okay, fantastic. Amanda, you mentioned something about it links with our municipal financial software. Is that right?
Yeah, so it will allow users to set up once our e-billing is set up in the new year, it will allow them to get reminders or set up for them a pre-authorized payment for their taxes or their water if they need to do so. Kind of like if you received your bills, like an e-billing, and they can set it up to take the money out of their account through this program.
Ah, okay.
Just
Sounds
deposit
interesting.
your account. Yeah.
Okay, any further questions for Amanda on this? Okay, I'm not seeing any, so everybody seems to have a clear understanding. So I'll move on to the bylaw. Bylaw 2020-97 regarding authorizing the entering into and execution of a master services agreement with Paymentus Corporation. The recommendation is that bylaw 2020-97, being a bylaw to authorize the entering into and the execution of a master services agreement with Paymentus Corporation and the Corporation of the Township of Madawaska Valley with respect to electronic bill payment services, be given first and second reading this first day of December 2020. Could I get a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Poplinski, seconded by Councillor Bromwich. Is there any discussion on the bylaw? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that's carried. The recommendation is that bylaw 2020-97 be given third and final reading this first day of December 2020. Could I get a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Wilmer, seconded by Councillor Schulist. Any final discussion on the bylaw? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that's carried. Next, we have bylaw 2020-98 regarding the Combermere Recreation Committee terms of reference. The recommendation is that bylaw 2020-98, being a bylaw to establish terms of reference for the Combermere Recreation Committee, be given first and second reading this first day of December 2020. Before I get a mover and a seconder, is Sue here? Sorry,
Yes, I am.
Sue. So I did note to you earlier today that the version of the terms of reference that was attached to the bylaw has an error in it. Was that corrected?
Yes.
Okay. There was a bit of a sentence fragment left over, and we all received a clean copy without that sentence fragment, so that'll be corrected on the bylaw. Is that correct?
Yes, so I can reference that. So it's on page 297. The top, there's it was a sentence that was to be erased. No, sorry, that's not the right page.
I think it is 297.
Is it 297?
Yes, under Schedule A.
There it is. Yes. So it's a chair for the Combermere Recreation Committee will be affirmed by majority vote of the. So that needs to be removed because that was referenced as per the committee's request. We have added the roles of a chair, a treasurer, and a secretary, which was not there before. So that way, that's by way of changing that statement is no longer valid there, and I should have erased that. So that will not be in the clean copy.
Okay. Any questions from council on that? Okay. So could I get a mover for the bylaw, please? Moved by Councillor Wilmer, seconded by Councillor Poplinski. Any discussion on the bylaw? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that's carried. The recommendation is that bylaw 2020-98 be given third and final reading this first day of December 2020. Could I get a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Bromwich, seconded by Councillor Schulist. Any final discussion on the bylaw? Oh, should I have said as amended?
Yes, please.
I apologize. Okay, I'll go back to the first reading and the mover and the seconder. Are you acceptable to that being as amended? Okay,
Councillor Wilmer and Poplinski.
Yes, you're both okay. Okay, thank you. And then on the mover and the seconder for the third and final reading, we're acceptable that is as amended.
Bromwich and
thank you.
Schulist. Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
we're good. Okay, any final discussion on the bylaw? Sorry about that. It just popped into my head. Seeing none, all those in favor? And that's carried. Okay. Bylaw 2020-99 regarding the Palmer Rapids and Area Lions Club terms of reference. The recommendation is that bylaw 2020-99 being a bylaw to establish a memorandum of understanding facility use agreement between the Palmer Rapids and Area Lions Club and the Corporation of the Township of Madawaska Valley with respect to the Combermere Community Center be given first and second reading this first day of December 2020. Could I get a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Wilmer, seconded by Councillor Poplinski. Is there any discussion on the bylaw? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that's carried. The recommendation is that bylaw 2020-99 be given third and final reading this first day of December 2020. Moved by Councillor Bromwich, seconded by Councillor Schulist. Any final discussion on the bylaw? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that's carried. Next is bylaw 2020-100 regarding the Township of Madawaska Valley Friendship Club Memorandum of Understanding. The recommendation is that bylaw 2020-100 being a bylaw to establish a memorandum of understanding between the Madawaska Valley Friendship Club and the Corporation of the Township of Madawaska Valley with respect to the facility use of the Combermere Community Center be given first and second reading this first day of December 2020. Could I get a mover? Moved by Councillor Poplinski, seconded by Councillor Wilmer. Any discussion on the bylaw? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that's carried. The recommendation is that bylaw 2020-100 be given third and final reading this first day of December 2020. Can I get a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Schulist, seconded by Councillor Wilmer. Any final discussion on this bylaw? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that's carried. I would note that achieving bylaw number 100 in a year, there was a time when that would have been monumental. I am certain that we will be going past number 100 again this year. Okay, so we've completed our bylaws. We've done our in-camera. We are down to confirming bylaw. Bylaw 2020-101 regarding the confirming bylaw for the council meeting of December 1st, 2020. The recommendation is that bylaw 2020-101 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the council.
Excuse me, Madam Chair.
Yes.
I just had a text from Gwen asking if item 10.3.2.
Oh, if it, yes.
Staff action item list. I believe Gwen had a question. Gwen, if you want to.
It's not on the agenda though.
Okay.
It is, Kim. Remember I sent you an email regarding it. It is, it's on the agenda, not the public portion. It's an open item. It's just not the attachments aren't there.
Oh,
because-
okay. So I misunderstood. Was the agenda changed?
No,
Okay,
it's
I don't
similar to
have
the
it. I
way
have
the- It's similar to the way the accounts used to be brought onto the council agenda.
Okay, so where would I find it? Sorry, I'm confused.
Because you got yours electronically, your email, I think, well, unless you received your package, the paper package.
No, I didn't. I just deal with it electronically. So 10.3.2, did you say?
Yes. And I think I sent you an email with the action items.
Yes, I got that in the email. I just wasn't sure why I had it.
Oh,
My bad. Because okay, so
there was two
before I do the
actions.
confirming bylaw, obviously I've missed an item, 10.3.2, because it's not on the electronic agenda that's published. So that's where I'm stumbling. So that would still be within the standing committees though.
That's right, unless you want me to just postpone it until the next meeting. There was two
Uh,
items that Hillary and I were looking for direction on, but they're outstanding for a while, so we could bring it forward at another meeting.
Well, possibly if I may through the chair, let's bring it back through a report so we have better guidance for council.
Is that possible? That would be helpful because sometimes it's helpful to have a little bit of guidance around something.
Sure.
Okay, so if we could bring that to the next meeting, please. And I will try to make a mental note to watch out for it because if it's not going to appear on the publicly published agenda, then even the mayor doesn't have it. I
I
mean, I
will
did
look-
receive the document, but I didn't realize, I thought that was for my information. I didn't realize it was actually a part of the agenda.
I will look and see if there's a better way that I can put it on the agenda, so there's a placeholder in the public portion as well, so that the public does see that we're discussing an item without the details, the content details attached.
Can't you just put the item without anything, any attachments?
And I could do that and send it separately to council.
I think that would be the best way. And then the public is aware the item will be discussed, even though they don't have a copy of the specific action items. Because yeah, as a member, even as a member of council, I missed it.
Yep, sure, sounds
So,
good.
Okay, so if we could just bring that to the next council meeting, please, I'd appreciate it.
We can do that.
I'm sorry, council, I realize that you get your packages, a lot of you get your packages physically, but I do mine electronically, and I was unaware of that item. Sorry. Okay, so we will move on then to confirming bylaw 2020-101 regarding the confirming bylaw for the council meeting of December 1st, 2020. The recommendation is that bylaw 2020-101, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the council of the corporation of the township of Madawaska Valley at a council meeting of December 1st, 2020, be given first and second reading. Could I get a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Bromwich, seconded by Councillor Poplinski. All those in favor? And that's carried. I think the mayor's getting tired here. The recommendation is that bylaw 2020-101 be given third and final reading this first day of December 2020. Can I get a mover? Moved by Councillor Schulis, seconded by Councillor Wilmer. All those in favor? And that's carried. Motion to adjourn. Moved by Councillor Wilmer, seconded by Councillor Poplinski. All those in favor? And that's carried. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.